What is going on, fellow vets? Brian Reese, the VA Claims Insider, coming at you live from Austin, Texas. And today I'm a little bit angry because I'm talking about VA unwarranted reexaminations. Okay, that's a lot of words. What does that mean? What that means is the VA scheduled you for a routine future examination, an RFE, and they're asking you to come in, meaning they're scheduling you for a C&P exam to check on the status of a service-connected disability that you have, when in reality, they never even should have ordered the exam, okay? Now, first, let me talk about what this is and how it can happen and what's really going on, okay? So first of all, the VA always reserves the right to re-examine or reevaluate you to assess the severity of your disability, okay? And it makes sense, right? If your disability has gotten better, well, then your rating should be lowered. If your disability has gotten worse, your rating should be increased. If your disability has stayed the same, then your rating should stay the same, okay? Now, in general, that makes sense. But what's happening, y'all, is the VA is ordering reevaluations and reexaminations for veterans who don't actually need them. Okay, now let me read some situations. So if any of these 7 situations apply to you, you should be exempt from a routine future evaluation. Okay, so here's what it is. If the veteran is over 55 years old at the time of the examination and not otherwise warranted by an unusual circumstance or regulation. Okay. So if you're over 55 years at the time of the examination, you should not be scheduled for any exams. Okay. That's number one. Number two, you have a permanent disability that's not likely to improve. Okay. Again, remember, you can check your permanent and total status. You can also check to see if your disabilities are static, okay, meaning they're not going to improve over time, by getting a copy of your VA rating code sheet. Okay, now I have a high value blog out there of how you get your VA rating code sheet fast to check if your disability conditions are static and unlikely to improve. Okay, so that's number two, a permanent disability not likely to improve. Here's the third one. The disability has been in place without substantial improvement for 5 years or more. That's the VA's 5-year rule, okay? Claims folders contain updated medical evidence sufficient to continue the current disability evaluation without additional examination. That means if your claims folder has medical evidence that's current and sufficient to evaluate for rating purposes, they're not supposed to order another examination, okay? Here's another one. Your overall combined evaluations of multiple disabilities would not change irrespective of the outcome of re-examining the condition. What does that mean? Okay, here's what it means. Let's say you have a 100% P&T VA rating already, okay? You've got a 70%, a 50%, a 30%, a 10%, a 10%, and 10%, whatever, right? But the combined is you're 100% permanent in total, okay? Well, let's say you have a headaches rating at 30%, okay? And it's been 3 years since you've been evaluated. The VA scheduled you for the routine future examination, okay? That examination should be canceled for the headaches, okay? Here's why. What's the point in checking if the headache condition has improved? Because even if it did improve and the VA lowered the 30% to say 10%, it still wouldn't change the overall combined rating of 100% P&T. That's what this one means, okay? Number 6, if you have a disability that's already at the minimum compensable level, okay, which means the minimum percentage to get compensation. Okay, remember, 0% rating is non-compensable, okay? So if you have a disability rating of 10% or less for an individual condition, that should not be reevaluated. Okay, again, it's like, what's the point? Why would you even look at it? And the last one, the disability evaluation is already at the minimum level for that condition, okay? But what's happening, again, is The VA is calling vets and they're sending them C&P exam requests to go get reevaluated when it's not actually needed. Okay, now why do I think this is happening? Here's why I think it's happening. I think it's a training and experience gap primarily. Okay, there's a lot of turnover, a lot of new people at the VA. The VA's also got horrible systems. All right, they deal with system problems all the time. And so here's what you do though. If you get scheduled for an examination that you think is unwarranted, okay, immediately call 1-800-827-1000 and speak to a rep and tell them to put a note in your file to the VBA regional office in your state and tell them I should not have been scheduled for this examination because of XYZ. Okay, make sure you cite one of the valid reasons that I shared. Okay, fellow vets, if you need help, you know where to find us. VAClaimsinsider.com. We're also publishing amazing free content on our blog every single week. Of course, you're following me on YouTube, and I so appreciate that. But if you need help with your disability claim and you're ready to work with the experts who truly care, okay? If you're ready to get unstuck, you're ready to increase your VA rating because you know you deserve it, okay? You can start with us right now. VAClaimsinsider.com. You'll see it across the bottom of the screen. I can't wait to chat. I can't wait to get to know you and help you change your life. Talk soon, y'all.